Hey, good morning, people. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. Today is July 8th, 2022, and the time is now 4:09 a.m. Yes, wow, this week went so fast, didn't it? It went fast. Yeah, I've been up now a little over 2 hours. Yeah, I went to bed relatively early, and so I got up, I feel pretty good. My tooth hurts. I have one tooth that is bothering me a little bit right now. I just um, put a treatment on the tooth. Yeah, I want to try to preserve the tooth. I love my teeth. Yeah, have to. I want to get some distilled water. Try to like detox. You know. So anyway, how you guys are doing? Um, let's see. Oh, what I want to talk about today. Well, the world is something else. Um, just very, very. I think that this whole week, a lot of changes, and I want to talk about some of those changes, the news of the week. Yeah, I just say just stand your ground. Um, try to look within for peace. Um, the first thing I want to talk about. Well, I will be. I want to cover the July 4th thing, that shooting in Chicago. I want to talk about that. Not Chicago, an area near Chicago. I think either it was a suburb of Chicago or, near Chicago. Um, Getting condolences anyone who was hurt there. I did talk about it before. I want to talk about the Georgia Guidestones. Hey, I just found out. I think that viewer of mine who notified me about that. So a thumbs up to that person. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, the famous Guidestones. It was put up there in 1980, and some disturbing messages that were on the Guidestones. But interesting about the news report about the recent incident of it getting damage in an explosion. The other thing I want to talk about, there was some incidents, um, some events that happened in Chicago uh, regarding black women. And I'm a black woman, but I'm not from Chicago. Um, it's like, don't you ever wonder when different events happen, and I don't know why the news had made a report about a recent report about the women. That was I think maybe 2 days ago. It was recent, and there was a woman that was kidnapped, and she was acquainted with the um, person that tried to that did abduct her. Um, and she's screaming from the building. She was put in an abandoned building, and she's screaming and screaming. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning. I hope you guys could hear me. Yes, um, this is the Manhattan skylight. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with your camera. Yeah, when I get up, I love looking at the lights on the buildings and everything at night. It's beautiful. So that's all that you're looking at. But either way, I want to talk first about that. Um, I mean, I've heard of things like this before, but there are missing women. there are women that get abducted, and black women in particular, missing in certain areas, and it's like a constant thing. And that one woman, now I remember hearing about that one case who got saved, and it was a passerby hearing the cries of a woman screaming out for her life, and he called the authorities, and she was rescued, and they were able to identify who the man was, and yeah, he's arrested. Thank God they caught him. What would make someone do that? They were saying that people were women, black women, um, found scattered throughout the city of Chicago. Um, so it's like a serial killer. And then the same report that I was watching just a moment ago. Um, because this one of the women that they were, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts. One of the victims of this area, that she was an accomplished woman. It's an entrepreneur. She had several businesses. She owned condos, but she's from an area that's not considered high end. But she had, she's still a black woman, and yeah, she wants to live with her people. But it wasn't a glamorous area. She was not a criminal or anything like that. And she had a sister, and they're very close. And she's accounting, recounting what the conversations that they had together before her being missing, and later found her body found. Um, she had gotten in a truck with some people. Now her sister's an adult and a businesswoman. Um, Never been involved with the law or anything like that. Um, but she does. The sister who's giving the story doesn't know why she would do that. But she had a bad feeling, and she called her sister, and no response. She called several times, and then when she went to the sister's home, her sister's cell phone was at home. So she doesn't. She feels bad about. She doesn't feel right about what's going on, and she notified the cops and placed a missing person. Well, they found her body, um, dismembered. Uh, they were able to no torso. They didn't find the torso, but everything else. And the sister said, "Who would do something like that?" She didn't have any enemies, whatever, but to that extreme violence against somebody and the strangulation, they were able to identify that 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 is what happened to the person, what caused the death, strangulation, and it's sad. But she's not the only victim, and it turns out like the sister who notified the cops, they didn't want to really work on the case once they found out what neighborhood in Chicago. And it's like, wow, what does that have to do with anything? What neighborhood? Someone's missing, an adult missing. And she had met up with someone got in the car. What, what, what is this? Um, I found it disturbing that because of where you live, not to investigate. Aren't police trained to get facts for individuals so that they can find the bad guy or the bad girl, right? Aren't they there to collect information so they could protect you or get the perpetrator or perpetrators, plural? Don't they know that the longer that you wait to start an investigation, the likelihood of the person becoming deceased? Aren't they aware of that? So why are they shooting themselves in the foot, so to speak, these law enforcers, the so-called protectors? Because the mindset is designed to think a certain way, to keep the status quo. And that status quo is not in your favor. It saddens me. And that they said in these neighborhoods, you have a lot of abandoned buildings. Shouldn't these abandoned buildings be removed? Because, see, that's where they're putting the bodies. That is what's happening. They are doing crimes in these neighborhoods and then hiding the bodies in these abandoned buildings, oftentimes in these so-called black neighborhoods. And I'm sad about that because, see, all life is important. All life. And when you say that somebody's life isn't as important because what neighborhood they live in or what race the person is, it makes me feel sad. I care about all people. All lives are important. Isn't it the poor that really support the rich with their high taxes? They pay the most taxes out of their income. The physical work that the poor do in comparison to the so-called rich who have like little office jobs. Who does the physical labor of a community? You have to respect labor. Labor is labor, no matter what color their hand is. And it makes me feel bad because, see, these are all women. So it's a disregard for women, to prey on women because they're weaker. Um, I wonder, should it be like you hear that some crimes, like what they call hate crimes, get a higher penalty um, because they're a hate crime? What about the hatred towards women? Shouldn't there be a hate crime when you pray against women? Historically, women have been brutalized just because they're women, not the right to. You don't have the at one time no right for voting. You couldn't own property, etc. You could be sold. Parents could sell you to marry you off. That's. Who would want that for themselves? If you were God, would you want that to happen to you? Solely because you're a guy. It's really something. Humanity doesn't care for one another. And again, anyone could be a victim of a crime. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning, good morning. I hope all is well with you this beautiful Friday. Yes, so if you're a woman out there, and let's say you're a black woman, and let's say you live in a high crime neighborhood, this type of story would be very troublesome for you. And I think I'm more sensitized to it because of the incident that I've talked about many times. The past, it's about 7 months now. Was it 9 months? Yeah, minding my own business in broad daylight around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Tons of people around me, and I get assaulted by a crazy woman. I reacted right away to get help. Point out the lady to the cop because I found a cop. So a traffic person helped me get a cop that was right nearby. Point her out. He got her, and then three other cops came to the scene to assist. And I told the cops what happened. Anyone who would listen. And one of the cops got angry at me because I said, "This is the woman that assaulted me. I want her arrested and prosecuted." I mean, I was angry. I was in pain, physical pain from the attack, and the callousness. And this was in a high-end neighborhood. I had a doctor's appointment, a dental appointment. I was just on my way home. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. It was the day before Thanksgiving. And I was just on my way home. Beautiful area. Friendly, had young and old people, little kids. It was a really nice moment when it happened. Would not have thought of anything like this happening. And luckily I had a thick jacket on because she gave me a heavy blow to my chest, right in the center of my chest. Could have stopped my heart. "Oh, that's not considered an assault," the cop said, real angry at me. Why is he angry at me? Hello, people. So it's this type of thing that I find really troubling. The callousness of humanity. I've never seen these cops before. I've never been, in trouble with the law. Um, I'm a college graduate. I live in a beautiful building. Uh, I'm a veteran. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'm an honest person. I care about people. I think I'm a good citizen. I'm not perfect, but I care about people, and I don't go around walking around assaulting people with my hands. And even when I told the cops, she also attacked two other people. She attacked an elderly black man too, and another man. I did get a copy of the report, and the report said not a biased incident. Yes, it was. I think it was biased. A white neighborhood, but everybody around me was white. But coincidentally, me and another black person were assaulted by this white person. So it's interesting that news, and when you're talking to a cop, could react to you. Now I was wearing a nice outfit. I mean, it was cold outside. I was dressed appropriate. I wasn't wearing anything weird, you know, regular regular clothes. But the venom that came out from that cop. So I'm just thinking, okay, so I mean, this happened in what happened to me happened in New York City. But isn't like Chicago like in New York City? And so what about the people there? Here, the cops didn't want to investigate because of the neighborhood. Yet she was not a criminal, tax-paying citizen. And they had to be connected because the sister who reported her sister missing had friends, had people, knew people, prominent women in the community. It was a handful of them, and they um, insisted. And only then was action taken. So what if you don't know anybody in government or someone who's prominent? You're going to be, unheard. This is in America. I love my country. I love my country. But I see, and I don't want to see these things, but I'm seeing that some people are not loved back. Some of us are not loved back. And I said, well, this is 2022. Come on, people. Come on. Just do your job. That's all I'm saying. Just do your job. You got your uniform, whatever. Just do your job, what you're paid to do. That's all you have to do. And if you don't want to do your job anymore, retire. Get another job. You're not there to judge people. You're there to do your job. And if someone comes to you, hey, this person is missing, they were last seen as such and such, then you act on it. There are protocols, and people aren't doing protocols, aren't following protocols because of the program. There is a biased program out there that they are following. That's the script they're following. And you just hope that when you go report a crime, that you pray that this person does not have that program in them, or to override their negative programming so they can see clearly, so that they can see unbiasedly. That's all. Yeah, I'm sad about that. And may peace and safety go out to the people of Chicago and other areas like that throughout America and throughout this planet who are being abducted, tortured, and all these horrendous things. Please, when you have the power to help, help, and stop judging people because maybe they're not born with a gold spoon. But here, she was a prominent woman. She was an accomplished woman. But she was just a black woman. What if something happened to me? Most of us look common. I don't really dress up fancy. If I'm just wearing my regular street clothes, I'm just another black lady. And that could be scary. And at one point, uh, I say, hey, I better take an active stance of my appearance to improve my appearance so I look more a certain way. Yes, certain colors, outfits don't work well with a black woman. Um, Dark colors, unisex clothes. I think for what works best for me, very feminine clothing, dresses, not a nice dress. Um, yeah, wearing nice dresses, wearing light colors, pastel colors. But when you wear that bland, dark, now I like some dark colors. But it's like that bland. If it's bland, they don't like that. But you wear nice dress, uh, tops, tailored tops. Yeah, a so-called neat appearance. You know, um, These type of things could help your appearance. Sundresses. Sundresses could be nice. A nice light sun. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I wore this one sundress. I had it for about 10 years. I think I still have it. It was a turquoise blue dress with white in it. Yeah, a sundress. It's floor length. That one gets me very positive responses from uh, men and cops. Very, very positive. Yeah, it's really weird. Certain colors, certain things, people respond to certain things. Colors is a stimulus. Certain colors give certain responses. And that dress gave me positive. So I used to wear it all the time. He says, wow, they treat me nice in the store when I wore it. It was really weird, people. It was really weird. I still have it. Maybe I should wear it. Yeah, it's really weird. Certain outfits, certain colors um, appeal to people. So if certain colors appeal to people, certain colors will detract from people. Just saying. Just saying. It's about survival, people. Yeah. Dumpy unisex clothes for black women is death. So if you're a black woman, you're wearing dingy colors. See, I like the earth colors personally, but it's how it looks. If it gives you a shadowy look, a dumpy look, frumpy look, don't wear it. Wear things that are more slim fitting, uh, lighter pastel colors, and simple, simple hair. Very, very feminine. When you look at a feminine look, I'm not saying Fifi, Miss Fifi look. I mean a feminine, a a nice breezy outfit, feminine. If you're a black woman, just saying. Yeah. Uh, um, yeah. What did I have on? Yeah. Well, with my tech, I had on a brown jacket, a what do you call it? A shearling jacket. So it was leather on the outside and the shearling inside, and dungarees. It was simple, but the cops didn't like it. I don't know. I don't. It's just hostile. But I think in my situation, they just felt sorry for the white female. They um, she obviously seemed like an outsider, not from the New York City area. She looked like she's from somewhere else. So I think they felt sorry for her, and they just wanted to protect her. God, figure. Oh God, yeah. So this is America today, and it's like when it happens to you, it's like wow. Now I see what happens to people, black people, but I always felt in my heart, just somehow just stay away from bad areas, high crime areas. Um, Come home early, don't hang out outside, I'm always in before dark. Things like that I've done my adult life. But when you do everything and something like this happened, I mean, it was broad daylight in an upscale neighborhood, things could happen. I think people are being triggered. She was triggered, that female. She was on a rampage. But still, we have to protect ourselves. We have to. Everyone has to protect themselves. So anybody could be attacked. And so that leads into what I was going to also say about the 4th of July incident. Also in Illinois, like I was mentioned about the women being missing in Chicago, the black women in Chicago, being found in abandoned buildings, dismembered, and all this stuff. Yeah, Chicago again. In either a suburb or Highland Park they call it. I don't know the cities of the towns in Chicago. I've been there. When I was in the military, I had I was going to school in the military, and on our days off we could take the train to Chicago. So I did that a few times. It was a pretty city. It looked like a miniature New York City. I stayed in the very busy area, the metropolis, but not in the suburbs or things like that. Um, so here in Highland Park, the that event that happened on July 4th, again, condolences to the victims out there. Yeah, the story just getting more and more fishy. Um, yeah, a lot. Yeah, they wanna get a scapegoat in all this. Now the person confessed. They said so. Okay, we'll just say the perpetrator had confessed, and he is an adult. He'll be 22, I think, next month. So that is an adult. He's 21. So they want to pin it on his father because the father uh, did the paperwork for him to get his license or something, so he can get a firearm. But this was done when he was a minor, so this was several years ago. And I mean, not to give excuse, but the guy is an adult now, and so to pin it on the father because he approved it, he did the paperwork so a couple of years ago, and the father says he wasn't living with the son at this at the time when an alleged event happened in their home that he had made threats to his family. It's just weird. The whole thing is weird, and the weird tattoos. He's not employed. They didn't specify. I don't remember if they specified how long he's been unemployed. And when did he get the firearms? Um, why would he need more than one? Why? I don't know. I don't see some cultures, some white communities to have more than one firearm, but the power that gun had, they said that it basically demolished the victim of that bullet, and wow. There was a person, yeah, there was a doctor at the scene. I don't know. I'm just, and I talk about this aspect of it. Um, I've been following this one YouTuber. I shouldn't say follow, but I've been watching this one YouTube channel, and who lives in Chicago, actually, and he studies different code symbols, colors, numerology, all these things, and he's noticing patterns of things, of events that are happening. And since I've been watching him, I think 2 months now about, and so now it's like I'm sensitized to when I see news being reported, I look out for the same symbols that he teaches about, and I notice like I don't know. Certain things that they wear. The people who are being interviewed, I'm mentioning about this. Start start noticing now. Any type of event that you see being reported, notice the colors that they're wearing. Purple or types of purple. Like some of the things that you call purple, I call like like a maroonish type of color. It's like a red with blue mixed in with it, or sometimes something with a lot of blue. Yeah, so sometimes it has more red in the color, in the pigment, and sometimes it's more blue. And he calls this purple. But yeah, yeah. So when you see those colors, or they wear red and black, or they wear black and red, or they wear this what they call Tiffany blue, or they wear the blue with that red, that purpley red, or. And so it's like, wow, what a coincidence. It's like it's like right on it. Or they tie. Let's say they might the reporter might wear those ties, those colors, or a shirt. And it's like you can almost predict that you're going to also see numbers. The number will have the number six in it in some way. 6 weeks, 6 months, six victims, or 66. And in this one, the shooting, it was initially six that had died, and then there was a seventh. I guess he died later on. But initially it was six. While all the birds are chirping now. Yes, the little birds. I love that. Start noticing people who, yes, all these weird tattoos, right? He's gonna go in the store. You go, I don't know. It's just so weird. And why now? No one knew what he looked like. I mentioned this before. No one knew who the shooter was. He was on top of a building and he's dressed like a woman. How did he get into that building with a big ass gun like that? Where was he hiding it when he came in the building? Right? Where was it? Or was the gun already there? I mean, you gotta start asking these questions, people. Was the weapon already there and he was just went in the building? Who has access to go on a roof, people? I wouldn't dare go on a roof. We have cameras, right? Remember this is you know, the time of things happening in the world, and there's cameras everywhere in New York City, and this is a high-end neighborhood, so they're going to have their cameras, right? So where did he hide the weapon on him? Okay, and the weather's hot. So did he have like a trench coat? Where's he gonna hide a big ass gun? What is it, like a rifle, a high powered rifle or something? He has to hide that thing somewhere. So where did he hide it on him? And then they said that he left the building and he drops his gun and blends in with the crowd, and then went to his mother's and changes his clothes and used his mother's car. It just me. The more I think about it, the more, yes, good morning, dear, good morning. The more fishy it seems. It's fishy. It's like a red flag. And the thing with he looked freaky. And then again, the gender blending, right? The gender blending. He looked weird. He looked weird. And I don't know. And the type of people who were being interviewed, they either had purple or purple with blue, and they just sound, one of the ladies were like the husband and wife, the doctor, the wife looked like she was smiling, and here she had just rescued this child, or the grandchild, at the event. So, you would think women, should be very protective, going to be emotional, but she was like smiling, smiling. I don't know. And you had people, this YouTuber put up a video today, the one that researches, codes and colors and numbers. He put up a video today or yesterday. Well, I just saw it today. And, oh, what was that now? Oh, God, it just eludes me right now. But it was just very fishy, very fishy. It's all about gun control. And the parade that they had, like this, they have the little parade there. I thought what was interesting, that, like, um, I thought it was odd why were there so many little kids. Like, um, most of the parades, like the Fourth of July parade, you have, adults, a lot of, but this one's a lot of little kids. And I felt that it was to try, okay, I felt that it was like made it to happen there because if you have a lot of young rich white kids, little children and stuff, to get sympathy, to manipulate your emotions. I mean, all life is equal. All life is important. And have the little they stressed initially that there were little wagons and things like that. Um, and then you show the video and you see a large number of little children. I said this was odd. I thought it was a big parade, but it wasn't like it was like a mom and pop thing. And I think that's why it was done there because of the mom and pop uh, makeshift parade for the Fourth of July. That's what I that's what I think. To use that as a weapon to try to promote gun control, gun confiscation. See, this guy had signs a couple of years ago when he was a minor. See, they have the opportunity to nip it in the bud when that boy um, threatened to hurt family members with knives. That was a red flag. And so, when the police come to the scene, that has to be put on record. So why didn't it, when we applied for the gun, the license or whatever, how come it wasn't a red flag? Hey, the cops came to the scene and he threatened his family with knives and he tried to commit suicide. How come that didn't pop up, people? How come? It's like a Manchurian candidate. They want to set up an event. This is just my opinion, just an opinion. And again, condolences to anybody who was hurt or killed in any way in that event. But it just seems like a Manchurian candidate event in hopes that, if you have a lot of little kids at the scene, whatever, to appeal to the authorities that they better do something quick. You know how many people are killed in Chicago, in the so-called black neighborhoods? And no one's doing anything to protect those people from one another. It's like they want sacrifices. Yeah, I think some regions in this country is it must be under a grid or something to exert. Well, how do you say this? Like their power centers or grid lines on the planet, and they want to promote certain energies slash sacrifices in these power zones. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. My thing is in the way. And I think that's what's going on. Because it just keeps on happening, keeps on happening. And they're not trying to stop the violence in Chicago and some of these neighborhoods. I think it's all a human sacrifice that's being done. But you're being taught to be sensitized if in the community, if it's a white community, and in this case with the July thing, it was a very large Jewish community there. Again, all lives matter, all lives. It was just something that was mentioned at the reporter. There was a reporter there and said, hey, this is a heavily Jewish area. So that could have been another one. So if they don't get them for just killing people, oh, maybe they can use the race card then. They're really trying to pull it. They're really trying to change the laws so no one could be, no one could protect themselves if they need to. They have the power to screen out people, but they don't because they don't want to. The other thing I wanted to talk about, what was that now? Oh, the Georgia Guidestones. I think, yeah, the Georgia Guidestones was removed. It was demolished. And at first, what was that? 2 days ago, was it? Someone, there was some type of explosion there. It's like they had like four pillars and then the thing on top, the capstone on top, and they showed footage of it being some device exploding it, and one of the pillars was toppled, and part of the capstone was demolished. I mean, fell off. But other than that, it seemed very secure. Now, if this was a crime scene, why did they demolish, bulldozed it? Was it yesterday? If it's a crime scene and you need to find out, investigate what type of device, if it was a device, and all that. But they did show like a car, a silver car. Interesting. The Fourth of July person, Crimo. Even his name sounds weird. They call it Crimo, but it looks like the word crime, Crimo. But either way, he was escaping in a silver car, and interesting that the Georgia Guidestone bomb, you know, um, event um, was a silver car that was at the scene or near the scene. I thought it was also interesting the news reporter said that there's a group of people. Now, how do they know that it's a group of people or more than one person? How would they know that? Don't they supposed to um, state facts or data? What data did they have that it was more than one person involved? They didn't show any footage that there were of any people. They did show one car that was driving by this scene near the scene. Well, how do you know that that car was even associated with the Georgia Guidestones? That incendiary device could have been there for days, hidden, and then detonated. You don't know. Also, I thought was interesting. You had someone who, an organization, there in Georgia. Um, they're known for doing granite, what do we call it, tombstones and things like that. They work with stones, and they said most of the stones that are the graves and all that, come from that town, which was interesting. And it's still a mystery about who is the maker, who what do you call it, commissioned the piece. Who's the real owner of that piece and who wrote those words down? And so the guy that specialize, yeah, there's someone, an organization or a company that maintained the guide stone, the those stones for the past since 1980. That's when it was put up. They said. So for 42 years around, um, they were maintaining it. So if you're maintaining it, you're not going to do it for free. So you'll be able to know who is the maker or who financed it, at least, right? So he was saying like, oh, if someone didn't like it, you didn't have to do, you don't have to agree with what it said. But I'm thinking, wait a minute, I heard about the guide stones. Um, there's things on it. I mean, I've never personally visited the site, but it's known that it said, I mean, they showed pictures of that portion that that they believe that only 500 million people should be left on the planet. Well, if you have roughly 8 billion people on the planet, I mean, I'm not a mathematician, so wouldn't that be the mass majority they don't want on the planet? Don't you think that would upset people? I mean, what percentage is that? You have close to 8 billion people, that's a B as in boy, and they only think 500 million with an M should be on the planet. And yet it's supposed to, they claim something about, you know, they, they use flowery terms, what this thing's supposed to be represented. I said, wait a minute, that's not what I heard. What that monument represents. It was very offensive to a lot of people. So interesting um, that, yeah, oh, I almost remembered something else. The person that takes care of the guide stones was saying, well, he heard that, I think it was a politician, some female, and the female said allegedly that if they get an office, they want that thing removed. So it just seemed like he wanted to put the blame on that politician. So it's just really something. Um, all these events is happening in this week. The guide stones, the Chicago shooter. What else? Um, oh, and then the people, the black women missing in Chicago. Yeah, the things are happening, and it's like a death spirit. But I want to put words of life on this planet. Yes, I want to promote life. Life is beautiful. I pray for a spirit of life, love, and happiness on the planet. Yes, sunrise is approaching. Be up in a few minutes. Yeah, it's just after 5 o'clock now. I pray for life for all of us, peace, love, and joy upon all of us. We'll have a right to live and to live happily. So, um, Yeah, this is what I wanted to report today. Yeah, things are being hidden about certain events. I mean, there are a lot of controversial things that are written on those guide stones, Georgia guide stones. And why they're not focused on what the monument said or who built it. It could be all a type of Masonic, because it's all happening in the week. It's like they're removing things. It's a new phase. It's like an introduction to something. That's what my opinion is. To usher in something, or to end something, and they want to remove the evidence. Yeah, if it was a crime scene, why demolish it like that so quickly? Did they get all the data, or is it a cover-up? Yeah, they mentioned something was it a time capsule that was there too, or something? And so they wanted to get, I guess, cover that up. What was the time? What was the time capsule? Something like that. Something that was embedded in it, you know. And they got to get rid of the evidence. They don't want people to know about it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, fishy things for fishy times. But we are more than conquerors, right? We are special people on this planet. Yeah, you are special. We are special, and we are loved. No matter what your social, economic, or race is, you are important and your life matters. I pray for, I speak words, let me say, I speak words of peace and protection over all of us this day, this Friday. Please be safe. A spirit of protection and a shield of protection over all of us today. And we put smiles on our face, joy in our hearts. I thank you for this moment, for me to share this information. I hope it didn't upset you all too much. Yeah, it is kind of heavy what I'm discussing. But we shall prevail. We shall prevail. I thank you again for this opportunity. Peace and love and joy to us all, okay? Take care. Have a safe weekend. Until next time. Bye bye.